Following UNESCO's recent Futures of Education Committee meeting, Assistant Director General for Education Stefania Giannini is here to showcase how COVID-19 has affected education and what needs to be done to get education back on track.
No matter what your age, the disruption of education over the past 6 months has likely affected you from close or far. Never since the creation of the United Nations has education been interrupted at such a global scale. Yes, it was. For 1.6 billion children and youth in more than 190 countries. The closure of educational institutions to contain the spread of COVID-19 has exposed intolerable inequalities, increasing inequalities, digital, social, and gender inequalities. The world was not on track to achieve SDG 4, even before the pandemic. And SDG 4, we know, is the most ambitious commitment ever made on education over a lifetime. Now, we are at risk of sliding back on decades of progress. At least 24 million students are at risk of not returning to their studies, to their schools, to our universities because of COVID-19 economic impact. Well, to avoid a downward spiral, we have to jumpstart education, recognizing it as a bedrock of more resilient, sustainable, and fair societies. Well, what does it mean? What does it imply concretely? For a start, that governments commit to protect their education budgets. Donors will have to step up, targeting funds where they are needed, very much needed most. There are higher costs to make up for learning losses and ensure schools can safely reopen. We cannot accept a back to normal. We have a golden chance to get back on track and even accelerate progress by being more disruptive. It's a tremendous opportunity somehow. We have witnessed incredible innovation over the past 6 months. Close to 150 partners today joined the Global Education Coalition that UNESCO launched to ensure learning continuity the end of March this year, leveraging new talent, expertise, and partnership. There is a greater political latitude to experiment. Global lockdown has demonstrated definitely how much society values education as an essential public service and teachers as frontier players, frontline players. Somebody said that they are the heroes of these times. It has shown how schools provide health, nutrition, and societal protection. Going forward, these linkages must be strengthened. We cannot afford to have education systems that exclude and fail millions, especially girls. Now is the time to invest in what can set nations on the right course. Education systems that prioritize inclusion to accompany every learner to success, because all means all. Education systems that make a technology driver for inclusion and pedagogical innovation. Education systems that can embrace the challenges of our times. Well, I'm thinking of education to promote sustainable development, to protect our planet. I'm also thinking of education for global citizenship, and this is very much about combating intolerance, respect diversity, and for social justice. The COVID-19 pandemic has driven home the reality of our interconnection, interdependence. Never has it been more urgent to rethink education, to reimagine education in the future and the futures of education as well. UNESCO's Futures of Education initiative, launched before the pandemic, is a bit a pioneering vision in the real need we have today, is generating a global debate on learning to become. In the middle of a deep kind of uncertainty, Our collective responsibility is to make the right choices. There is no evidence to refute education's impact on poverty reduction, health and income gains, decent jobs or gender equality. UNESCO has joined forces with sister UN agencies and a wide network of partners in a global campaign to save our future. Education will definitely save our future, and we need everyone on deck to step up the pressure to leave no one behind. Thank you.